What a privilege is to be closing an event like this. This is my 57th country where I'm speaking at. I have had the honor and privilege to train people of over 120 nationalities. And just to have this done in front of the pyramids after this amazing event that we have had here in Cairo makes me full of pride. But what I want to do is I want to share with you how I have accomplished most of what I have accomplished. Many people want to accomplish stuff and they do not know exactly how to get it done. So let me share with you a formula that I would like to call the ultimate success formula that will teach you how I have got a number of things done throughout my life. I have accomplished a number of goals throughout my life. So first of all, allow me to share with you some of my accomplishments, not because I want to brag about them, but because I want to impress upon myself how important it is, this formula, because it is because of these 4 points that I'm just about to share with you that I have changed my life and I have accomplished things that not many people will get to accomplish in their lifetime. So, as I was mentioning earlier, this is the 57th country where I am training at, where I am speaking at. I have spoken to an audience of 120 nationalities, and I have changed their lives. I have spoken to Fortune 500 companies. I have had the fortune of learning 3 different languages and train and speak in 3 different languages. I have 2 nationalities, and I'm going for the 3rd nationality right now. My family travels with me. I am the 247th most traveled person in the world, and I live a life full of happiness and fulfillment, doing whatever I want, how I want, when I want it. Now the question is, how did I get to do that? How did I accomplish that? Well, simple. There's 4 steps. Would you be interested in knowing those 4 steps? I can guarantee you, if you listen to these 4 steps and you get to implement them, you will be able to accomplish whatever your goals would be. Would you be interested in knowing those 4 steps? First of all, step number 1, you have to know what you want. It sounds simple, but most people know what they don't want, not what they want, and that is a problem. If you know what you want, you will know in which direction you want to go. Just think about it. People are saying, I don't want to be poor, I don't want to be miserable, I don't want to have any problems. The problem is your brain does not register the word no. And I'm serious about it. You might be laughing, but it is exactly what happens. Your brain does not register the word no. So I'm going to ask you to do the same thing. Please do not pay attention to this and don't see the pyramid in your mind. Don't see the pyramid in your mind. What's the first thing that comes to your mind? The pyramid, right? So for example, if you just go and buy a car and then you start getting it out of the showroom and then you're thinking, I don't want to crash, I don't want to crash, I don't want to crash, I don't want to crash. What do you think is what happens? Do you know that most of the accidents, most minor accidents that happen to car just after getting out of the showroom, do you know what they happen? Because of course they are thinking, I don't want to crash, I don't want to crash. But because your brain does not get or register the word no, immediately you attract exactly that. So it's not what you don't want, you have to be clear in what you want. That's step number 2. So step number 1, sorry. Step number 2 is you have to take action. As you possibly know, as my most important mentor in my life I was always mentioning, you have to take not only action, but you have to take massive action. That means that you have to start doing stuff. But the problem is sometimes if you start doing stuff without really knowing what to do, you're not going to be able to get there on the first shot. So one of the best things that you need to understand is you need to understand what you are getting. Because most people try once, or they try twice, or they try 3 times, and then they give up. But in reality, if you do not know what you want and how you want to get there, you might have to try a few times before you get the result that you would like to accomplish. Does that make sense? So we have step number 1, know what you want. Step number 2, what's step number 2? You have to take action, not only action, you have to take massive action. Step number 3, you have to know what you're getting. And step number 4, if things don't work, change the approach. And if things doesn't work, what do you need to do? Change the approach. And still things don't work, what do you need to do? change the approach. And if still things don't work, what do you need to do? Change the approach. And if still things don't work, what do you have to do? Change the approach. And if still things don't work, what do you have to do? Until when? Until it works. Let me tell you specifically how I have accomplished most of the stuff that I wanted to accomplish. I was born in Mexico. My dream was to travel the world. My dream was to work for an airline. And what happened, I loved, my favorite airline was KLM, Royal Dutch Airlines. I wanted to work with them, but I didn't want to work only in Mexico City. I wanted to work in Amsterdam. But this company was very ethnocentric, which means that they only had Dutch people working for their organization. Suddenly, I got a job to work in KLM in Mexico. I started working for them, and I started thinking, well, how can I get there? This is exactly what I want. And then what I did was I discovered that the training department was looking for somebody to do training. I had no idea how to do training, but I said, well, you know, I like public speaking. I like sharing with everybody. I like helping people. I'm working for an airline. This will be the perfect opportunity. So what I did was I started applying for the job. So I took action. First of all, I knew exactly what I wanted. I took action, and I kept on getting rejected all the time, kept on getting rejected. And guess what happened? I had to apply 47 times. 47 times before I got my job done, before I actually got the job. And those 47 times, I was all the time seeing, well, what have I changed? What have I changed? And what I changed is I took away my nationality from my CV. I didn't mention that I was another nationality, I just took it away. And that moment I got hired. And that specific moment got me to travel around the world, got me to connect with other people, got me to do all the things what I am doing right now. And that's just one example. So if you follow those 4 steps, which is exactly what I have done throughout my life, you will be able to accomplish all your dreams. Thank you very much.